Hello and welcome back to the channel. This video is a remake of my first video, one which flopped horribly due to the watermark in the background. Once this video is uploaded, I will take that video down. I plan on doing the same for my other old videos, because they were awful compared to the videos being produced now. Many people, when joining Zeppelin Wars for the first time, believe it is set during the First World War. This is, however, not the case. Join me today as we narrow down the time period of Zeppelin Wars through facts and technology, and uncover the truth of Zeppelin Wars. The oldest weapon in Zeppelin Wars is probably the trapdoor. Although there is no real weapon it seems to be based off, the trapdoor was arguably based on the weapons made between 1830 and 1870. However, the Webley was first produced in 1853, giving us the earliest possible starting date. Zeppelins themselves came about in 1901 and were part of the German army within a few years. They were used for bombing missions during World War I but were replaced by bomber planes. Some weapons in Zeppelin Wars were first produced after World War I, for example the OVP or Thompson submachine gun. Zeppelins were not used much after the Hindenburg disaster or 1937, and biplanes were beginning to see much less action. This must conclude that the game takes place between 1918 and 1937, right? Well, almost. The USA developed flying aircraft carriers between 1933 and 1937. There are some very shocking similarities between them and Zeppelin Wars. Firstly, they deployed light biplanes from base within. Secondly, they were rigid, meaning they had a metal frame, and also used helium, which is why they couldn't just blow up if you poked it. That's not all, however. The very game the original Zeppelin battle is based on is the Crimson Sky, which has its own lore. The game takes place in the 1930s, which further strengthens my claim that Zeppelin Wars takes place between 1933 and 1937. Perhaps, in Zeppelin Wars lore, due to the project being dropped, many crew members of the flying aircraft carrier lost jobs, and so hijacked their Zeppelins and became pirates, raiding shipping and other targets to sustain themselves. Perhaps Ohio decided to deal with the threat using their own Zeppelins, forming the patrol to defend themselves. The government may have increased spending for torpedo and weapon developments, leading to the prototype, to allow them to fight pirates. However, due to mismanagement and other reasons, these weapons and Zeppelins fell into pirate hands. The amount of technology developed would have led to the screens and launch pads also developing, or perhaps leading to a new gas being discovered which could better lift a Zeppelin and increase payload. The very lore of Zeppelin Wars depends on the time it is set in.